benefits of copper bracelets. Half a dozen posters solicited the public to invite wealth into your life by learning to fire dance. The scantily clad prima ballerinas shown in the photos were dripping with jewels, coin necklaces, silver and gold chains, and amulets. "Hey, look," said Maya. "That's the dance troupe I was telling you about. I saw them in Golden Gate Park the other day." "The what?" Bronwyn shouted over the noise of the crowd. "Dance troupe." "Oh, I thought you said pants loop." "What's a pants loop?" "That was my point." "No, I said dance—" "Never mind," Maya responded with a smile as she was jostled by a group of young women intent on squeezing in at the front of a table selling discount designer bracelets. "Tell you later." All around us was chaos, glittery, cacophonous bedlam. "Glad we came?" asked Bronwyn as we started to meander through the aisles of gem-laden tables. I nodded, dumbstruck. "I'd say it's worth opening the store a little late on a Sunday," said Maya as she paused to stroke a long strand of polished garnets. The deep wine color of the beads was a perfect match to the ruby highlights in Maya's black locks. "I wouldn't have missed it for the world," I said a little breathlessly. I noticed Maya and Bronwyn sharing a smile. Coming here today, playing hooky to go shopping with friends, was an important rite of passage for me. I had never done such a thing, and I was reveling in the experience. The crowd milling around us was mostly female. Some appeared to be jewelry makers and wedding planners and artists and dealers like me, but mostly they were just shopping for the fun of it. "Well, then we'll have to start doing it more often," Bronwyn murmured. "It's a very important bonding thing. Ooh, look there. Have you ever seen so many pearls?" We strolled by a dealer with strands of pearls in just about every color imaginable. Sky blue, indigo, purple, pink, green, gray. In addition to the rainbow of color possibilities, the oyster-born treasures were offered in myriad different shapes, from the classic gleaming spheres to misshapen, elongated forms that looked like lumpy grains of rice or twisty bits of coral. The next booth specialized in Venetian glass beads, handmade and swirling with color. Strands of multicolored glass pieces hung from a long fishing line and created the effect of a beaded curtain. The sumptuous glass twinkled beguilingly in the harsh fluorescent lights of the exhibit hall. There were a few dozen finished necklaces and earrings hanging from display racks, but most of the offerings were loose beads in lined baskets. Maya reached out to caress one piece after another, stroking their slick surfaces, her long fingers rippling the beaded curtain with a pleasant clickety-clackety sound. Although tempted to follow Maya's example, I kept my hands tucked tight into the pockets of my vintage 1960 sundress. The buzzing crowd already felt just a mite overwhelming. I didn't want to add to my overloaded senses by tuning into an untold number of possible sensations emanating from the jewelry. Not that I normally picked up much from metal or stone, but given my sometimes unpredictable supernatural abilities, it was best to play it safe. In witchcraft, as in the rest of my life, I'm a misfit. For instance, I'm no good at scrying or seeing the future in a crystal ball. And when it comes to psychometrics, the ability to feel vibrations from inanimate objects, I'm especially out of step. Elemental minerals reflect and hold their owner's energy, so most sensitives are adept at picking up sensations from metal and stone artifacts. But I gather sensations from clothing. The warmth of humanity shows itself to me in the everyday items we wear on our backs. Textiles talk to me. In contrast, metal and stones leave me cold. "I'm gonna go find the vintage stuff," I told Bronwyn and Maya, who were inspecting a series of delicate hand-knotted necklaces made by a woman whose name tag read, appropriately, Sapphire Stone. As for me, I have a finite supply of shopping energy. I wanted to spend it on items for the store. "How about we meet in an hour? Is there a refreshment stand or a food court?" "Let's check the map," Maya said, studying a brochure that included a map of vendors. Before we left Aunt Cora's closet this morning, she had drawn red circles around a few names. "Okay, there are a few antique jewelry dealers in the back right corner, directly in front of the big blue curtain. And the food court's over there, to the side. See you in an hour, then?" "I'll be there," I said, and headed off. As I made my way through the venue, I remembered why I generally avoid crowds. The sensations generated by the life forces of so many people together can be overpowering. Outside, in the fresh air, the sensations are dispersed, but in an enclosed space, even a cavernous one like the Cow Palace, I start to feel unnerved, jangly.